Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Views from the Popcorn Box. My name is Ananda, and today you are watching my Best Picture nominee series where I watch and review every film that was nominated for Best Picture. Today, we are watching Anatomy of a Fall. It was written by Justine Triet and Arthur Harari and directed by Justine Triet alone. This film is about Sandra, a woman who is suspected of murder after her husband's death, and their visually challenged son faces a moral dilemma as the main witness. This film is nominated for 5 Oscars: Best Original Screenplay, Best Directing, Best Actress in a Leading Role, Sandra Hüller, Best Editing, and of course, Best Picture. I heard rumblings about this film and even had some people recommend it, but I never took the time to actually watch it. When I finally did, I was not disappointed. I think this film does a great job in transforming the courtroom drama. Let me explain why. Anatomy of a Fall manages to keep the facts the facts. During this film, I wasn't really rooting for anyone specifically. There was no emotional swaying through a score or subjective cinematography. The audience seemed to be just like the audience in the film, clueless and curious. This film also felt like a documentary. We never see what actually happens. We'll never know what actually happened. The theme is rather more about how much fact influences feeling and the importance of understanding coupled with facts. For rewatchability, I did rate this film a 3 out of 5, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't think this movie is complex where it needs multiple rewatches, but due to its sheer entertainment and ability to keep the audience engaged, I would love to watch this with someone watching for the first time.
I did not kill him.
That's not the point.
Now, the story does get a 5 out of 5 from me. I think this movie does a great job in keeping everything so objective. I feel like a lot of times films will kind of cheat their way out or kind of give breadcrumbs to the audience, but this film keeps an objective point of view the entire way through. I was waiting for some big reveal or a flashback to what really happened, or even a damning examination proving that Sandra was guilty, but instead, we never veer from the objective lens. It's as if we are also a part of the jury and we must decide what the truth is for ourselves. Just like the conversation between Daniel and the court-appointed liaison. When you don't understand, you have to just decide with what you believe. This is what the entire film is based on. Not whether Sandra really did it or not, but more of an exercise of our own belief and concept of judgment. When you're presented with all the facts, what do you decide is the truth? I also noted this theme when Sandra and Samuel were arguing. They both had points, and they were both telling the truth, but a lot of that truth was based on how they felt. And I'm surprised that the director, Justine Triet, managed to keep a subjective lens out the entire time. The flashbacks we saw were only based upon the narrators. We see the fight Samuel records up until it becomes physical. Then we are placed back into the courtroom, listening to the altercation, and are forced to rely on what Sandra tells us. When Daniel recounts the ride with his father, we see his father's mouth moving, but it's coupled with Daniel's voice. Whether they are reliable narrators, we're not sure, just like the jury. The cinematography in this film also gets a resounding 5 out of 5 for me. Such smart and clever ways to unfold the events and keep the audience engaged. There's a scene when Daniel is doing his first testimony. The lawyers speak but never get shown in the frame. Instead, the perspective on Daniel changes as he turns his head to listen to whichever lawyer is speaking at the time. Very simple, but it puts us in the shoes of Daniel, someone who doesn't know all the facts, but only his part in things. Overall, I do give this film a 4 out of 5, just because I personally would like to know what happened. I personally do believe that Sandra did it, but luckily for her, I'm not on the jury. I don't know if this film will win Best Picture, but I do think it will win Best Screenplay, and I would not be mad if it won Best Directing, because I think this film was directed amazingly. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think happened to Samuel? What Oscars do you think this film will take home? Do you think it'll win Best Screenplay? Let me know in the comments. Until next time.